What is the Consumer Credit Act of 1974, and why is it important? I've put this video together for you to put into context how recently women have had control over their finances. This video might blow your mind if you don't know already what it's all about. The Consumer Credit Act gave women, for the first time, the ability to have their own bank account or credit account without a man co-signing. 1974. I was 14 in that year. So within my lifetime, this very important financial milestone for women took place. This means that prior to 1974, women could not have control of their own money. They could not have a bank account. They couldn't have a credit card. They literally could not access their own money without a man co-signing for them. As a result of that, as well, women were discriminated against. They were actually allowed to charge a woman a higher interest rate than a man prior to 1974. And prior to this act, it was very easy for a woman to be discriminated against. They were denied credit, even with a cosigner. It didn't matter. There was no equality whatsoever before 1974. The Consumer Credit Act also equalized the playing field. Women were now allowed to have credit and bank accounts even if they were single. That wasn't the case before. This act is huge because for the first time in history, women did not have to have a cosigner. When you think about how significant that alone is, imagine going to the bank, wanting to open a checking account, and you are denied that privilege unless you have your father or a male friend or your husband co-sign an application to deposit your money in the bank. Think about that for a minute. It's very significant. It gave us the power to finally do what we should have been able to do all along, and that is have control over our own money. It's a very significant milestone in history as far as financial confidence for women. Prior to 1974, for decades, even centuries, there was a completely different mindset. My grandmother, my great-grandmother, even my mother were brought up in a completely different mindset world for women and money. Even myself, like I said before, I was 14 years old when this act came into play. I still struggle with the old conditioning that I have to have the permission of a man. Part of my downfall, unfortunately. But I was taught that my dad would take care of it, or that I was supposed to get a husband and he'd take care of that. And in a lot of ways, that mindset still exists today. I talk to young women all the time, and they just abdicate their finances. It is a history, a long history. That's why this act is so important. We have a long way to go, no question, but it is the starting point of women coming in to being financially confident, having access to their own finances, control to their own finances. It was the start to women becoming financially independent, financially stable, and definitely becoming financially confident. If you would like to know where you are in your financially confident scale of things, I have a free gift for you. Click the link below and take my quiz. That will give you some idea of where you are and where you need to go.